Hello everyone, today I have a very special review. This is the LEGO UCS Jabba Sail Barge. I think it's 75397 and it has 3,942 pieces and it retails for $500. Now this is quite a big box. I don't think the camera can do justice for that, but as you can see I just received it in the mail, so let's go ahead and open her up. So there we go, I've opened it up, and inside we have the Jabba Sail Barge. Unfortunately, it looks like mine has a little bit of a crease on the front. I'll see what I can do after I've opened it, but yeah, let's just go ahead and pull her out. Just pull these things out of the sides. It looks like I'm going to need two hands for this. And here we go, it is out of the box now. As you can see, 3,942 pieces, 75397. And this is for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. Looking at the box, on the bottom we have the blue greebling for the anniversary. On the front we have a nice picture, and we have this orange detail here. And if you look closely, we actually have the twin sons of Tatooine. On the side of the box we have the front of the sail barge. On the back of the box we have the sail barge all opened, and we have the display plaque there, and we have some scenes from the movie and some dimensions right there. On this side we have the back of the sail barge, and on the top we have all the minifigures: C-3PO, R2-D2, Kitaba, Vism, Wolf, Gaborian Guard, Princess Leia, Bib Fortuna, Max Rebo, Salacious B. Crumb, and Jabba the Hutt. Now, that is all for the box, so let's go ahead and open this baby. So we're going to open this side here. We'll just turn to that like so. We have 3 tape seals there. And when we open it up, we will be greeted with a nice view of the sail barge on here. And inside, we will have a couple flaps with Jabba and Princess Leia. We open that up, and we have a box with Max Rebo, although it appears he's a little upside down. So let me get that out. And there's also a one with Salacious B. Crumb, but we'll take a look at that in a second. So here's our box for Salacious B. Crumb. We can see him looking nice here and creepy looking. And over here we have one with Max Rebo playing his organ. And the boxes also have numbers. This is box number 1, and this is box number 2. So we'll go ahead and open this one. So I already cut the tape seals for this, but before I open it, there's just one fear I have with the set, and that's the sails. I've seen that many people, theirs have come bent, so some people, theirs have been fine, like Emerald Productions, but I'm not sure if mine are going to happen that way. My fingers are crossed that that's going to happen, but I just hope so. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and open this. And there we go. We have one of our, that's not a fun, one of our tubes is just laying in there. That's already bent. I have many bags in there. And like I suspected, the sails came bent. Although not too terribly bent. They were just bent just a little bit in the package right there. Hopefully before I have to build them, I can flatten it out a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. But we will take a look at the sails in a second. We have some bags in there. They go up to 18. And inside here we have our instruction manual. And we have a little paper bag here, and I can feel this is Jabba the Hutt inside. And we have another paper bag with the other half of Jabba the Hutt. And that is the end of this box. This box, it doesn't have anything other special. It just has bags 19 through, well, either 18 through 36 or 19 through 36. That just has bags. You know what those looks like. But, yeah, so I think that's all I have for this. There's also this bag here, and it has some other plates and other railing pieces there. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have for this. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Our first minifigure is C-3PO. Now, he's an okay minifigure. He's okay. He has nice arm printing. He has some, this is new for, I believe, 2022, maybe 2021, but I'm pretty sure 2022. And from the torso up, it's a perfect minifigure. But the legs are what is making this minifigure so bad. This is the minifigure that came in Luke's Landspeeder. And at first glance, they look the same. But if you look from the legs, he has this nice dual molded leg here. And he has side leg printing. And yeah, so I don't know why LEGO didn't decide to include this minifigure. They really should have. It is in a $140 set. So, I don't know why it's not in a $500 set. Like, It's not about making a new mold. This piece, it's still in production. Like, the most recent set it came in was August, so it is still very well in production. They just, for whatever reason, to cut costs, just chose not to put this minifigure in here. Oh, and by the way, my throat is feeling a little sore, so my voice may be a little weird for today's review. I'm so sorry about that, but still. Again, torso up, great. Just the leg, it really should have been dual molded. There's no reason why they should have cut this corner for such a high-end UCS Lego set. Our next minifigure is Bib Fortuna. Now, Lego actually made Bib Fortuna back in 2022, and that's what we got this head mold from. This is from the Fat Bib Fortuna, and that's why this head mold is not really accurate here. Other than the head mold, the rest of the figure is great. We have new face printing with the menacing look on that side and then a scared look on this side. We have some nice back printing there, as well as new torso printing and new leg printing. All three of these pieces are exclusive to the set, but this piece was from the Fat Bib Fortuna, so they needed to make a new mold for this piece, and I don't know why they had to cut corners on this too. So far in these minifigures, we are not starting off strong at all, but the next minifigures get a lot better. Our next minifigure is Woof. Now, that is quite a funny name, but he is one of Jabba's pirates, and he looks actually quite good. He looks better than Bib Fortuna and C-3PO, in my opinion. Looking at him, he just has regular gray legs. He has some exclusive torso printing with, like, some grenades on a bandolier there. And looking at it, we have some nice back printing. He has a new helmet piece here, and it is not rubbery, thankfully. I don't think they really needed to make it rubbery, but yeah. He has this new helmet piece that just sits on there, and I believe this is a new, it is definitely an exclusive face print. I'm not sure if it's an exclusive type of alien that we've ever gotten, but it's definitely an exclusive face and print. He has just a calm face on this side with all these, like, he's probably an aquatic person from the look of him, and on this side, he has a fighting face. Also, some of these figures, you'll see none of them have any accessories in their hand. They actually have weapons on the barge, but we'll get to that in a minute. Our next minifigure is one of my favorites, and that is Max Rebo. Lego actually made him back in 2013, and this is the same mold they used. It's just a darker shade of blue. It matches better with the torso and legs here, and I think there's really nothing they could improve on this. Now, of course, Max Rebo, he does not have arms. He plays the organ with his legs, but how else would Lego really do this, I think? I think just giving him the small torso and small legs is really the optimal way. And the way that they have the organ built, it just looks like he doesn't have legs inside the barge. So, yeah, whenever you have it built, I think you'll see why Lego chose to do this and how it just makes sense. But this headpiece here, it is rubbery. It's, as you can see, he has this nice long nose, and mine's slightly misprinted on the eyes. You can see it's not quite all the way on there, and same on this side. And then he has this nice slope back here, and this is very accurate to what we see in Return of the Jedi, and I just adore this minifigure so much, and he is my second favorite in this set, and of course, we all know what my favorite is. Our next minifigure is Cathaba. And Lego actually made him back in 2012. Yeah, 2012, because that's when the Desert Skiff went. And this is a nice minifigure, just one of Jabba's pirates. He has some dark red legs there, some nice torso printing with some pockets there. And if we flip this minifigure around, we can see some nice back printing. We can see he has this new head accessory there. It's in different colors. Lego has used this for other pieces. They've used this for the Pirate Snub Fighter with Vane. And I'm not sure where my vein is right now, so otherwise I would show you, but, oh, well, there it goes. But anyway, yeah, so I'll grab that in a second. But he also has a new face print there, and that looks nice. He is very accurate to what we see in the movies, and you gotta appreciate that for that. Our next minifigure is probably the most controversial in this set, and that is Princess Leia. This is her in her Hut Slayer outfit, and on the box, she doesn't look as bad as she is, and in person, she actually doesn't look too bad. From the front, she actually looks better than other angles, but we're just going to go through her top to bottom, because it just gets worse from top to bottom. Looking at the head, we have a new hairpiece here. This is a rubbery element. We have some printing on there for a little bit of gold there, and some more on top for her little headdress, I guess, or little head ornament, I guess. I don't know what you'd call that. But, yeah, we have her braid going down the front of her, like, that is accurate to the movie. The past 2013 version had it going down the back, the braid. So I'm glad that they had the braid going forward this time, and that's great. They have the same Princess Leia face we've getting for years now. And turning around, you'll see some of the controversialness. We have a angry face on that side, and that looks good. Lifting up the face, we can see that she has some nice torso printing there for her outfit. She has a back brace, which that'll come into play later. She has some nice back printing there with some more straps and other stuff. And now, the most controversial piece in this is probably the legs. So let me just put her head back on there. You see, just the neck brace just goes on like that, and then her hairpiece goes on like so. Now, her legs. LEGO decided to give us dual molded legs, and I think that was not the right decision here. Because in Return of the Jedi, the skirt that she has, it does not go all the way around her waist. It only goes around like the front and back parts of her waist. So, yeah, I think they should have given us like some tan printing on this side here. I think just a little bit coming through, just like in the middle here, just have some red on the front and the back there. I think that would have made it better, because it looks like she's going swimming in those swimming shorts. And yeah, I think that this minifigure, it looks okay. But also Disney, whenever they bought Star Wars, they said that there would be no more merchandise of Princess Leia in this outfit. So I guess giving her the dual molded legs is probably what had to happen to bring the minifigure back. But I don't think it looks good. It looks okay. It's not as bad as people are giving it credit for, in my opinion, but I still don't think it's a great figure, and it's definitely not one to buy this set for, in my opinion. Our next minifigure is the Gamorrean Guard. LEGO made him in 2022. He looks the same here. Nice leg printing. He actually has waist printing, surprisingly enough, if you lift up that. I don't think they really needed to give him waist printing, because when you put the mold on, it just covers that right up. And also, with this mold, I think this is perfect. He has his nice outfit there, and it really captures the essence of the Gamorrean Guard perfectly. He has just a regular brown torso with lime or olive green arms, whatever color that is. And I think this is one of those minifigures in this set that is perfect, and LEGO did not need to change, and thankfully they did not. Our next minifigure is Vizam. He is another one of Jabba's pirates, just like Kithaba and Woof. And he has the headpiece from Pal from Rogue One, so it's great to see that piece return. Some nice printing on the top and brown exterior all throughout. He has the same face that Vane had and the other pirate snubfighter pilot. Some back printing on the torso and the face. And turning around, we can see exclusive torso print. All the pirates in this set, like Woof, Kithaba, and Vizam, they all have exclusive torso prints. And then Kithaba and Woof have exclusive head and hair pieces. But Vizam does not. But yeah, he just has regular brown legs, and overall, it's an okay figure. It's just, of course, not one of my favorites in this set. What would a LEGO Star Wars set be without an R2-D2? So, we have R2-D2 here, and of course, he is Jabba's temporarily, so he is out giving out drinks. So, it's just the regular R2-D2, except they gave him a 2x4 light brown brick on there. And he has some drinks here, like a hot cocoa element there, that's pretty sick, and some butterbeer, and just a regular glass. So it's a nice, and thankfully, LEGO gave him the back printing, which they got some printing right on this, but I mean, they couldn't do all of it, apparently. But yeah, it looks good. So let's get to our second to last minifigure here, and I think, yeah, we'll just get to him now. Here is Salacious B. Crumb. Now, at first glance, he looks the same as they did in 2012, but it's actually a completely new mold, and overall, the piece that they used is fantastic. It is just really perfect to Salacious B. Crumb, and there's really no complaints I have except his eyes. You can see he has just ghostly yellow eyes. He should have black pupils, and the box inside the sail barge, as you saw, shows that he should have black pupils. So, when you include that box to show Salacious B and his nice black beady eyes, I don't know why you can't do the two tiny dots on this. That's just out of the question for this. I don't know why they didn't, but it's just the same also, because like the rest of the minifigure is fantastic. Nice printing up there, printing all around for his little scarf, the feather thing. But yeah, the rest of the figure is phenomenal. But those two black eyes just make the 2012 version just that slight bit better, in my opinion. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at probably the biggest minifigure in this set. Here we have Jabba the Hutt. And I have always wanted a Lego Jabba. I am so thankful that I finally got to own one. And whenever I got this set, I was actually going to buy a Jabba, but then I got this set instead, so I'm so thankful for that. If you've never seen a Jabba, this is what the bottom of him looks like. We have a dual mold, not dual mold, just a mold mark there, and some copyright information there. And he has many studs here, and there's actually this piece here where he will attach onto the space, but we'll take a look at that in a second. The arms do not remove, but they can move up and down. He has the Hutt logo, clan symbol, tattooed on his arm. It's not actually tattooed, it's just printed for here, but, you know. And on this side, just a plain green arm. The top, you can actually remove this. It is connected in by this blue Technic pin, and they just connect like so. And, yeah, that looks great. Looking at it, we can see some nice, like, light bluish gray things for like some folds of his skin here. We have some more on the back of his head, and that looks all nice. And we have a face print here. Thankfully, they gave Jabba pupils. I don't know what we would have done if Jabba did not have pupils. I probably would have been switching this with the other Jabba headpiece from 2012, but yeah. And I'm glad that they kept this. Also, this is the same mold. Both of these are the same molds from 2011, which that was perfect. I don't think they really needed to change it, so good thing they didn't. But yeah, looking at it, we can just see that he's just perfect in almost every way. And I don't know why I said almost, because he is perfect. I think there's really nothing they could do better to perfect Jabba the Hutt in Lego. I think this is as perfect as we are gonna get. So yeah, that's great. Now, Jabba, he does rest on this stand here. There's a lime or olive green, I forget the name of that, but there's a jumper here where you can place Jabba, and he can be on the display plaque here. Looking over here, we have this 25 years of Lego Star Wars brick. This has been in so many sets that it's just, Lego just feels the need to throw it in. And it looks like mine is a little bit misprinted there. You can see they didn't print all the silver on that, on the 5 there for the 25 years, so. And it looks like there's actually blue on it. I don't know why that's there, but yeah. So, just a regular brick. But then the most exciting part is the Jabba Sail Barge display plaque. So, it's printed, thankfully, and there's the mold mark here, but mine's actually, if you can see, the printing gets so close. I think the printing might be covered up by the mold mark just a tiny bit. Not noticeable, but just a tiny bit, I think. But other than that, the display pack looks great. You can see all the information here. You can pause to read that if you want. You have the Star Wars logo up there, the trademark, and the copyright Lucasfilm right there, and the name of the set. And also, here's a fun fact. That's Jabba's last name, Tour. I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah, that's just cool. I thought everyone's just called him Jabba the Hutt. So, although it's weird that Lego did not print Jabba Tour, or whatever his last name is pronounced, on the box. They printed Jabba the Hutt, so I don't know why they'd put Jabba the Hutt here, but hey, it's just some cool little fact, so yeah. Anyway, let's get out to an overview of all the minifigs. With Jabba and the display plaque and all the minifigures on this stand, which I forgot to mention, there's this giant stand here that they brick built so you can display all your minifigs. Although, for some reason, it's like slightly bent. You'll be able to see that better on the table. Like, I place this end flat here, and look at that. You can see that that's just bent for some reason. I guess there's just, from what I've seen online, there's just not enough weight on either end to make it not bend. I don't know why that makes it bend, but it apparently does. But other than that, other than the minifigure display stand, I think this is such a good look with the sail barge looming in the back, which we will get to in a second. And Jabba and the display plaque and all those minifigures over there. Even though the minifigures are not the best, like I'd say about 7 of them are good, other than 3PO, Bib Fortuna, Leia, and Salacious. The others are phenomenal in this set. And yeah, so I think this is just a great minifigure lineup. It's just the execution on LEGO Star Wars minifigures, it just needs to get better. But with the minifigures out of the way, let's take a look at the UCS Jabba's sail barge. I'm so excited to review this, guys. I can't wait. Looking at the sail barge, I think we can all agree that this is quite a beautiful model. I mean, just the angles they were able to accomplish, like on the front here with getting all that, and just the back too, I think that it just looks phenomenal. We're going to take a look at the outside, then the inside, and then the top sections. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Looking at the side, we have nice tiles for some details. None of these windows lift up, but over here, you can actually lift these up. You just pull on them like so. It's a little difficult to do. Sometimes it's easier to just pull it forward and just push the windows in, but you can actually do that. And all 8, there are 8 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one does not open. There are 8 on the other side as well, and you can have them open like I have it at different angles. And something cool you can do is on this far window, if you actually, if you open this, there are some studs in here that you can place a minifigure on, and then you can have them looking out. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but yeah, we can bring this over here, and we can have Princess Leia staring out. The rest of it looks beautiful. We have this fin right here that can move all sorts of angles. Let me just reattach that. It can move all sorts of angles. We have a Harry Potter wand element there, and that's for like a little stick that like skids across the sand, I guess. And I think this is great. You can have it up against the barge. You can have it out. These are the steering vanes, of course, so that looks great. And we have different colors for here, like some dark brown and then some light reddish brown, and that looks great. So as far as this side goes, we have also this little place on top that is like some thing, and we have this going around that also is mirrored on the other side. So everything on this side, minus a couple color changes, is the same on that side. So I don't really have. I'll show it to you afterwards after we take a look at the front and back sections. But yeah, anyway, looking at the front section, let me just pull this out. We can see some more tile elements here, and we can. I'm not sure what this is for, but it's in the movie, so that's good they got that right. And right here we have this piece here, which I think is actually one of the better ones. As you can see with this, like with these angles they were able to accomplish in this, I'm just amazed how they were able to engineer that onto there. So that is great. And looking at it, we can see some of the underbelly right here. That looks great. Let me get the camera into a different position. So looking at this, we can see some greebling under here. We can see, sorry, I had a minifigure right there. We can see some different greebling and some ridges here, and these are mimicked on the other side as well. Also under here, we can see some display stuff, so that the sail barge looks like it's hovering. We have some 3 black stands. They are held in by Technic, so you don't have to worry about those going anywhere. And looking at it, we can see they're held in by Technic pins. They have a nice smooth design, and there are 3 of them in this set, and they look great. Now I'm going to move the sail barge so I can show you it at the front. Looking dead on straight at the Jabba sail barge, sorry about the desert skiff right there. We'll take a look at the desert skiff and starlight pit later in this video, because of course they are great companions. But looking at it dead on, I think it just looks so good there, and just the angles they were able to accomplish, as I've said, were just phenomenal. And yeah, we'll get more into the interior and to this later, but yeah, now let's look at the back of this. Looking at the back of Jabba's sail barge, we can see some more windows here, although they cannot open, but they're just there for display. And looking over here, we have the thrust exhausts, and we have some greebling on the side here. Some more Harry Potter wand elements. Those look nice. That is mirrored on this other side. And we have some more of these pieces here, and that looks great. It just looks beautiful, and some of the other angles they were able to accomplish with this. We have some like Technic in there to hold these in. I'll open that to show you some of the Technic and inner workings of that. That looks phenomenal. And now let me just show you the other side. Here we have the other side of Jabba's sail barge, and we can see that it has the same details on the other side, just different colors and different shapes. Well, no, not different shapes, just different placements of them. And I think that looks beautiful on this side. We have, again, that piece here, and I will get to the interior in this momentarily, but I just want to say just how beautiful this Jabba's sail barge really is, and I just can't get enough of it. It's just really beautiful. And also, with the Jabba's sail barge, I was fortunate enough to pick it up with the lightsaber promo. I will have a separate review of this out on the channel later. at a later date. So just stay tuned for that, and I will have a brief thought on it at the end of the review, but just stay tuned for that. And just look at the Jabba sail barge. It really is beautiful, as I've said, but yeah. Anyway, the one complaint I do have is we have some stickered elements on the steering apparatus on both sides, and that's not good. We should really have printed pieces for this high quality set. There is a small sticker sheet in this set. I forgot to show you all that, but we'll go through every sticker in this set, so don't worry about that. Accessing the interior of Jabba's sail barge is quite a breeze. On both sides, we have 3 panels. One is right here. We have these little pieces that make it easier to pull down, and then we can pull down that right there, and we can pull down this. It's a little bit harder because it's these pieces hold it into the top so that part doesn't come off. We'll look at that connection later, but yeah, looking at the inside, we can see it's very beautiful, but now we're going to start from front to back of the barge. To make it easier to showcase the barge, I'm going to remove the tops. To remove the tops, it's really simple. You just pull them off like so. And again, we will take a look at the tops later in the review, but we can just pull them off like that. And to pull this one off, you need to make sure that the other side panel is also down, because both sides are held in with tank stuff. So yeah, that's what that looks like, and we'll take more look at that in a second. So now we have some light shining down through, and that'll help me with the review. Our first section is the cockpit of the sail barge, and I think they really did a good job designing this. Looking on this side, we have a little piece here with some control panels. We have a printed piece here, another printed piece there, little gauge, and a little knob there. We have some more stuff over there that I will take a look at, later in the video. Over here, we have some stickers for some computers. We have just some gauges on this one. This one, it actually has a fun little Easter egg, which actually I just lost that, so I'll grab that in a second. But over here, we have some more gauges, and we have some levers there for our minifigures to hold. And I'm going to grab that piece in there and show you the Easter egg. Okay, I found that piece. It has a sticker on it. Also, all 3 of those pieces there, all the gauges and stuff, they are stickers, unfortunately. But we have some Arabesh here, and it says scanning. I'm not sure what they're scanning for on Jabba's sail barge. Maybe they know there's some prisoners on there that shouldn't be, but I don't know. They're scanning for something, and that's that. So, looking at the rest of the cockpit, I'll put that piece back later. We have some seats, and let me get a different angle at the camera so I can show you that. Looking at the barge here, we can see that there are some seats. I'm just going to remove that, and I removed one of the panels here so that we can get better camera access here. It is very simple to remove. There's just some technic balls on the end of it, and that's how the other side is also connected, so that's what that looks like. But anyway, we're going to take a look at these seats. They can move many different angles. There are some clips there. There's a door here with the Technic pin right here, with this clip right here, and you can move it back and forth. It's sometimes a little hard to access, but I found it's generally pretty easy. We actually have a little piece right here to make sure it doesn't go all the way out and fall off the barge. So that would probably not be good. And there are some details on the other side of that door, but we'll get to that when we access the bridge. Looking at this, we can see that we can actually place minifigures in these chairs. I'm going to be using Kithaba and Vizam. We can place Kithaba in like so. There we go. And now that we've done that, I can adjust the chair to give him some nice angles, and it can recline all the way if you want, although just make sure not to get it stuck on that door, otherwise the door won't be able to open or close. And we can actually place another figure in there, and that would be Vizam. And with our 2 pilots in there, they look pretty good and pretty snug there, and they look pretty happy to pilot our friends Luke and Han and Chewie to their doom. Here is the armory and the brig, I guess. And looking at the bottom of the floor, we have some light gray tiles and some reddish-brown vents, grates, I guess. In the middle, we have a barrel. There's nothing inside. We can just remove that like so. And over to the side here, we have some ladders, which they actually go up. And there's actually some places that the minifigures can come out of on top of the sail barge. But we'll just remove that to get better access at the wall. You can just keep it removed if you want, but as you can see, it's not too pretty under there, so I would recommend not doing that all the time. Sorry, guys. But anyway, on the back wall, we can see many weapons, like the Gamorrean Guard's axe, some spears, and some axes, machete, and blasters. And yeah, that's mostly it here. We have these torches here with some studs and some flashlight pieces, and those will be throughout the whole set, thankfully. They have, like, these torches, they're consistent throughout the whole set. That is nice. Looking at the brig here, we can actually remove it. It is just held on by a couple studs. And looking at the back, we have some pipe pieces where I guess it's like dripping water. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at the brig here. Looking at it, we can see that it is a jail, and of course, and we have a broom on this side and some handcuffs so that you can have your prisoners come out and sweep if you want. You can open it and you can put a minifigure in there, like I guess Woof or a Gamorrean guard. We're gonna put Woof in there, and I have Woof here, and we can put him in there. Looking inside it, there's a chair where we can place a minifigure. If you have the Desert Skiff and Starlight Pit, I guess you could put Han Solo in there, although that wouldn't really be movie accurate. But you can put minifigures in there, and that looks good. And on the floor, we have a bone and some of that water that was leaking out. And there's actually something cool with that, but we'll get to that later in the video. And this is one of my favorite Easter eggs in this set, and it is this piece here. It's like a tally mark chalkboard, and it also has some Arabish, and that actually translates to Han was here. So I guess you could put Han Solo in there, and it really would be accurate, because Han was there, apparently. So, yeah, that's cool. And I just love that little Easter egg, and that's just really funny to me. So we can place that back in with our minifigure. He fits snug in there. You can actually open that door here. And speaking of doors, we'll get to that door right there in just a second. But in this ground here, you can place, like, a Gamorrean guard coming to get his axe, I guess. Or you can just place him just milling around. And I think he looks pretty good in here, and yeah. So we can just go ahead and place everything back, like that barrel and the ladder, and that looks nice. There we go. We have that all placed back. I think it actually goes that way, but I prefer to have it like that. You can do whatever you want with your sail barge. I'm just showing you every different option. And now we will take a look at that door there. Looking at the door here, this is as good as I could get it, I'm sorry guys. But looking at it, we have a little piece here which a minifigure could pull up, I guess, but it's a little hard to do. I think that's supposed to be like a door, but yeah. So looking at that, the door has some nice greebling there, and of course the door can slide back and forth there, and that looks really nice, but yeah. Anyway, let's get to our nice section here. Here we have the galley of the barge, and of course that's essentially just the kitchen. And I think it looks beautiful. So we're going to take a look at more of that in just a second. But in the middle here, we actually have a giant ladder. And you can remove that to get more access at that detail. You'll see how that's connected right there. And looking at the ladder, we have some nice triangular positions with these half tiles. And the back doesn't look too pretty, but the ladder is right here and it leans out. There's actually a giant door on the top of the barge that connects to. So we'll take a look at that later again. And we have a stud here where we can place a minifigure like Bib Fortuna, and he can be like heading up to go investigate what's going to happen to the prisoners, although we all know what's going to happen, although he might not. But yeah, so we can place him in there like so, and that can reconnect there, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to take a look at the galley. So looking at the galley, we can see that we have a trash can over here, and there's nothing inside it, but we'll just go ahead and remove that. There's also a frog here, and that looks nice. Over here, we have a margarita glass and a little bowl, some nice utensils and other things on the wall, some chicken. We have some fish cooking up here. We have some more of these lights, as I told you about. And we have some printed pieces, well, stickers actually on that side, but I'll take a look at those in a second. And looking at this, there is nothing in that drawer, but on this side, we actually have a bone. It's hard to see, but yeah, there we go. We have a bone that comes out of that drawer, so I'll place that afterwards. And looking at it, we have some other pieces. Up here, we have the chia seed element. It's a printed 1x1 tile, so it's kind of hard to see, but I'll try to show you it afterwards. So there we go. There's that chia seed element. And looking at the rest of it, just that stove there, that fire that's coming out, that looks nice. The hood vent looks nice. We can see the top over here. And this is also the top that runs all the way around here. We'll take a look at Jabba's place in a second. And we have another frying pan over there. And we actually have some recipes on the wall there. That one is Womp stew, and that one is bantha steak. I'm pretty sure that's what those are. You correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe that's Womp stew and bantha steak. And those look nice. We have not too many studs to place minifigures. We have one there, and one in front of the stove. And I don't think there's one behind the ladder there. I forgot. Well, two actually. But yeah, so that's the galley for you. And now let's take a look at Jabba's throne room. Here we have Jabba's throne room, and of course that big thing in the middle is Jabba's throne. You'll see a stud there. That is actually where we can place Jabba. We can lift him in like so. We can send him in through the bottom here, or this section here, this giant section, it can actually all be removed. I just broke it, but if yeah, you can remove it. It's a little hard for me to do. I'll try to do that in just a second, but just looking at it, we can see some nice detail, and I'm actually going to try to do that now. So I was able to remove his throne room without too much trouble. I just had to use a helping piece, but there is one included in the set, so you can just use that. So looking at it, we can see it's a nice tan base, and we have a jumper piece right here to place Jabba on. He just connects right like so. And looking at that, we can see he looks really nice up there. But, of course, he has Princess Leia with him, so there's actually something in the set. If we look behind there, there's a chest. Sorry, guys. And you can take out this chest. And what is inside is actually quite interesting on Lego's part. Inside, we have a chain. Now, of course, I think we all know what this goes to. It goes to Princess Leia, so whenever she's Jabba's prisoner, that she can be held by him. And his hands, you can actually place stuff in his hands. I forgot to show that with Jabba. That's one thing with the Lego Jabbas that they do. And it's a little difficult, but eventually you do get his hand on that. And we can place him in like so. And then Princess Leia can be sitting over here. If you want, you can change the face. That's probably more ideal. Although, this, of course, is not the final scene. There's another little creature that goes in the scene, and it's a little hard to do, so actually, let me change locations. There we go. Now we have them on a flatter place so that our minifigures will not keep sliding. Well, it was flat. Anyway, we can have Leia sitting like so next to Jabba. And then on the back are some studs where you can take Salacious B. Crumb, and you can actually place him like so. And now we have this happy trio together again. Now, removing all the figures, we can take a look at the actual base. Looking at it, we can see some nice greebling on the floor. That looks nice. Looking at this, we can see some of the, like, work for this has been, like, ruined a little bit. Looks like it's just being destroyed a little bit, or that's just how it's made. On the back here, we have some exposed studs, but that's just how it had to be. Most of the time, you really won't see this, so I'm fine with that. And on the back here, we have Jabba's smoking device that he uses, and that Leia uses later to free herself and destroy the electrical system of the barge. There's no, like, electrical thing on this, sadly. But, yeah, so I believe Jabba can hold this. I'm just not going to do it because it's very hard. But, yeah, so that looks nice. And we have the pipe running through this wooden piece coming out the back and going up into that. So that looks nice with all our minifigures on there. I think there's really no reason why it doesn't look good. Like, just change Leia's face and it looks beautiful. I think if you are a fan of this and you have like an office or something and you don't want to display the giant Jabba sail barge, I think just getting some of those small little builds like this, and I think it just look beautiful on display, like a desk or something like that. And yeah, like that just looks beautiful to me as Leia as the prisoner and Jabba and Salacious back there. That just looks great. Maybe get Bib Fortuna and throw him in. But yeah, so that looks great. And let's take a look back at the barge. I'm going to wait to put back the Jabba's slab there with his throne, Leia, and Salacious. I'm just going to wait for a second so we can get more access to stuff. But yeah, looking at it, we can see there are some studs, which I guess that's another place where you could put Leia so that she doesn't rattle around. And there's another place where you could put a minifigure like Bib Fortuna. And now let's just take a look at the final section in this, Max Rebo's place. So excited for that. Looking at the final section of the interior of Jabba's sail barge, we can see that it's a little hard for me to access, but I'll try my best. So over here, we can open this up, and there's another one of these studs over here where you can place a minifigure and they can look out the window. I already showed you that. We have some pillars here, like these lamppost elements, and they're actually pretty accurate to what we see in the movie. So that's really nice. We have some curves on the edge, and that's nice. And then the main point, though, is on a stud at the bottom here, we have Max Rebo and his ball jet organ. Red ball jet organ, my bad. And we could take our Max Rebo minifigure and we can set him in. There are no studs. He just sets in there, but you'll see what I mean. Look, like I was talking about how he doesn't have legs, well, arms, but it doesn't look like he has legs in this. So he looks like he's just playing with his arms, but really it's his toes. So I think that Lego really designed the organ and Max Rebo accordingly, and I have no faults for either. We have this brown little inverted stud, I think, and we have that... I'm just getting a little tongue twisted. And we have this little piece here and all the keys there. It just looks nice. I'm not really fluent with this organ, but that looks nice. and I think this is one of my favorite parts of this barge, and it really will be. I almost forgot, but now it's time to look at the other side of the doors. When you pull them down, we can see the back of Jabba's throne room in here, and that is a chest that we will look at later in the review. I just got to put something in there. There we go. Now that we have put that in there, we'll take a look at that. But we can pull down all the doors to reveal the nice interior. Whoa, what happened? Yeah, Lego, I don't know why Lego decided to put flaps on this side, but for some reason they did, and I don't know why. Because in this side with the kitchen, you can't even access it. Like, although with this side, it actually does make sense. Like, that is the one side, actually, that doesn't make sense to have a door on. But the others do. On this side, we have this piece here, which you can actually pull that. And you can actually get access to the brig and without having to pull out that piece. So, yeah, that's nice. And we can put that back in there. And this is what the inside of the control room looks like. We have another control panel over here with some more printed pieces here. I just wanted to show you that. So, yeah, that's what the interior on this side looks like. And, yeah, now let's take a look at the top section. Now that we've taken a look at the interior of Jabba's sail barge, it's time to look at the final section, and that is the roof. Now, to place them back on, it is really simple. We just take, I would recommend putting the back part on first, but you can do whatever you want, but it was just going to be easier with the slopage of the sails to put the back part on first. So you can see that they line up with these little pieces here. That lines up like that, and it sets in like so. And remember, you have to close these in to keep that top part with staying on. And now they're in like that, and that sits in like so. And now we can bring in the back part of the sail and place them on. We line them up with these pieces again. The other side is a little bit tricky because I can't really see it. But there we go. Everything is lined up. That part doesn't always sit back down, but it doesn't really matter as long as we just close these up. No one will ever know. And I think with everything on, I think it just looks beautiful. The first thing that you definitely notice is the sails. I mean, those things are really big, and they are actually making it kind of hard to get under, because like you have to go under and you like bend the sails a little bit. It's easier if you access this area. Like I can put R2-D2 there, no problem. And yeah, so I think to review this, like, of course, definitely don't display it like this, but to review it, I'm going to be removing these sails. They just attach in with Technic pins like so, and I'm just going to be sending them down. We can remove the other sail. They're built the same way, they just attached in by Technic, just like so. Now, with the sails off, we can take a look at the different sections of the sail barge. Looking at the front of the barge, it is beautiful. We have many of these tube pieces throughout the top of the barge, and they look beautiful. We have many studs that we can place a minifigure like C-3PO, even though he isn't the best, but we can put a minifigure like C-3PO because I've run out of other ones. So we have other wires and tubes coming in through here to go into these snot bricks, and another stud there. We can place another minifigure, and there are more studs on this set than minifigures. I'll get to the minifigures in a second. But yeah, so we have the mixer element and some ball elements, just a little bit of greebling there. That looks nice. Over here, we actually have a broken rail, and that is actually quite a nice attention to detail. I did not expect LEGO to go that mile, but they did, because as you can see, they have a claw over there and no claw over here. So I must say, congrats to LEGO for getting that detail right, even though you can't get other details right, you know. But yeah, looking at it, we can see these pieces here to help get the curvature of the tube, and we have more pieces going across there, but also we have some guns on this set. It's just a tiny brick built piece with the candle on the end, and these pieces like this. You can place them wherever you want around the barge. I'm just following the instructions, although I probably will just go ahead and move it right there. That looks better. And you can take a minifigure, just like C-3PO, and put him there. And of course, C-3PO isn't really going to be firing at anyone, but, you know, he can do that. And now we can take a look at the middle section here, and look at that. We're going to get R2 out of there and move C-3PO over there. And we can see these pieces here. Like I said, they match up with the ladder down there in the armory, and that looks nice. You can open these. They're a little bit tough to open. The first one is harder than the second, and then they can just close up. There's these little metal doors here. No, actually metal, of course. But we have these little pieces in the middle to help connect the sails to. And that looks nice. And we have these tubes coming across. These are the only ones that are really just straight in this set. The others are curved and bent other ways. These are just set on. So I tried to line them up best what I could with some studs, but yeah, so they're evenish, but yeah, that's good. And now moving on to the back section, we're actually going to take a look at the lower section here first. Looking at this door, we're going to move this gun out of the way. We can actually lift off this tile and open the doors like so, and of course that corresponds to that ladder back in the kitchen, so that the minifigures can climb out and come to shoot at Luke and Han and Chewie as they're trying to escape. So we can place that back on. It looks nice. We have a little stud there. Some more railing that's going up here, and we have some more up here, which we'll get to in a second. And that looks nice. We have the gun that they use to blow up the sail barge, which I'm actually going to grab Princess Leia. And I think the gun looks beautiful, and it just looks nice with these wheel elements, I guess, and the big lightsaber piece, I call it, is on there, and this little comlink, it looks like. And it is not symmetry. This side looks like a little bit more greebling. Then this side, we actually have this piece so that you can place a minifigure, like, of course, Leia, as she's about to blow up the barge. And you can angle it down at the barge, or you can angle it at the sky to shoot at Boba Fett if you have that set. And it looks nice, and you can shoot it down at the sail barge if you have that set. And again, you'll see, I keep saying it a lot in this review, if you have that set. So we'll get to that, and we'll get to why I say that in a second, but yeah. So you can just shoot it down at the barge, and then Leia can escape with Luke. And yeah, well, if you have that set. But anyway, looking at the back part of this, we can see some more mixer elements, and that looks nice. Some more ventilation there, and we have a little ladder going up to this back section. This is the final section we will be looking at, other than the sails. And it looks nice. We have this little piece here, this weird thing here. It doesn't always stay in this orientation, but yeah, that looks nice. We have some more railing here, and we have these pieces going down to try and connect up to that. So at certain angles, they can look good, but, oh, sorry guys, but they don't always look good, and that's just not what you like. So over here, we have some studs you can place another minifigure like, not Leia. We're going to put R2-D2 right there. That looks nice. And we have another gun here, and you can use Leia for that one. And another stud right there. And we have some curvature and angling there. We have some nice clips here. I love the front and back clips of these. I forgot to mention that. They just really look nice. And now let's take a look at the final section of this, the sails. The sails of the sail barge are exactly the same. We have some like tusk elements that are being used to get some angling here. We have some ball joints on here, and this is a very nice cloth fabric. I'm glad they went to cloth instead of plastic. Although plastic would have made sure that they did not get folded or anything. Sorry. But anyway, again, if you get this set, there is the fear and worry and potential danger that they might come bent. Mine came slightly bent. The corner was slightly bent. So that's just something to worry about. If you get this set, just keep an eye out for that. As you can see, this set's already bending down where it should be flat like that side. So that's not good. But yeah, I guess that's just wear and tear of the set. But yes, we have these nice tree here in the middle to keep it up. And you can place these elements on like so. The brown connects into the red there on the ship, and that leans forward like that. And grabbing the other sail, we can have it come and lean forward like that. Now, I believe that is everything about the sail barge, so let's just talk about some extras in this set. One thing is the Desert Skiff and Starlight Pit. LEGO had to make that an $80 separate set. So to complete this scene, it would actually cost you $660 because you're going to want two skiffs to complete the scene, but really you only need one skiff. So unless you really are a hardcore fan, like a really hardcore fan, and you want those two skiffs, like if I were you, because there's no printed pieces, I would just bricklink the pieces for the second skiff. But either way, it's going to cost you $580 to complete the scene. And I don't think that's worth it. They should have really made this as just one set, the Jabba's Sail Barge and Desert Skiff, because, I mean, there are no play features in this set. We all, like, whenever this set released, we all knew it was going to be accompanying this set. We all did. No one had any doubts for that. That just pushed the rumors for this more. And I gotta say, I really don't think $580 is worth to complete these two scenes, because that set is already overpriced, and I'm not sure if this set's worth $500 right now, but Yeah, I'll more thoughts on that later, but again, I just really think they should have been one set and not two separate sets. That's almost $600 to complete the scene. That is crazy to me. Another thing is the minifigures. Like, there really should just be more minifigures, because as I've said, there's just more studs to place minifigures than there are minifigures. Now, of course, you could go out and find pirates and other stuff, like other minifigure pirates from Star Wars, like, Vane, like if you have the Boba Fett's palace, there's like 3 guys you could use from that, like Gamorrean Guard and those other 2 guys. And I think there's way better things, but again, you'd have to go out and get that extra money. They should have included these minifigures. We only have 11 in here. Well, that's counting Jabba, 3PO, well, no, Jabba, whatever. But yeah, we have 11 minifigures in here, and I think they really should have included more. Like, look at Avengers Tower with the most minifigures in a set, 32. And we only get 11 in this one. Although, I have to say, part of that is the Avengers Tower, most of those prints were reuses, so they weren't making any new prints. Most of the figures in this have completely new molds and prints. So, yeah, so I just don't know why. I mean, I would have just taken a bunch of remakes. Just throw in 2 more Gamorrean guards, for heaven's sake. I mean, really, they should have included more minifigures, and 11 is just not enough for what the price we're paying. Speaking of the price, $500. Is this set right here worth $500? Yes and no. What I mean by that is it was worth $500 when it was released, because you got double insiders points. You got 3 gift with purchase, including the exclusive Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, but that sold out way too fast, and all the other things are gone now. But yeah, so I don't know why, but yeah, it was worth $500. If you got it when it released to get that lightsaber, the other promos, and the insider points, I think it was absolutely worth $500. I think all 3 of those, all those things, and this make it worth $500, because you could sell that sealed lightsaber promo, which mine is not, unfortunately, but it's better. But yeah, so I think you could sell all the promos to recoup some of the cost of the sail barge. Like, you sell those, you probably get at least $300, probably maybe $400 to recoup the cost of this set, and it's actually pretty cheap. So I think that if you got those promos, it really was worth the cost to get this set. Now, when there are not any, well, there is a 2 times points right now, but I would wait for 2 times points, or wait for May 4th to get that nice GWP, and like get some insider points, get a GWP with this set. Otherwise, I do not think it is worth $500. I love this set. I do love this set so much. It is such a beautiful model, but the minifigs, LEGO's got to get better with the minifigs. They really do. And the minifigs are just why I think this is not worth $500. The size is actually quite large. It's actually just under 3 feet, so that's actually really big, and it actually takes up quite a lot of space on my shelf. So yeah, but I think if you get like a GWP, as I've said, like GWP insider points, then yes, it's worth it, and you should definitely pick it up, because you will not regret getting this, because this is definitely the ultimate Return of the Jedi thing. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just end this review now. Overall, this is a fantastic set. Minifigures aside, like, most of the minifigures are phenomenal in this set, but just a couple outliers. Overall, I think this is a phenomenal set from Return of the Jedi. Just all the interior details that they have to offer, and just many different things. I just don't think $5 is worth it, but $500 is not worth it. I think, again, if you'd gotten that lightsaber promo and the other promos that came with it, you could resell that to boost the cost of this. But honestly, if you're going to pick this up, which I do think you should, but you should definitely wait for a sale, which should probably maybe happen like Amazon or something, because like, I'm not sure, but wait for like insider points, and wait for GWPs, Black Friday sale maybe, I'm not sure, but I just would not pay full price without getting something extra. So yeah, but with that being said, that's going to wrap up today's review. I hope you all enjoyed. This was one of my favorite reviews I've gotten to film. I've been so hyped to get this set, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, the build. Although, just the minifigures, they really need to get better. I've said that so many times through this review, and it's just so true. Now, I'll see you all next time. I will have the lightsaber review out in the next day or so stay tuned for that. See ya.